With a glass and aluminum build, killer camera, curved screen and a totally usable build of 0-100-05 Android, the new Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge looks awesome on paper, but is it worth it? The S6 0-100-10 is the biggest departure for Samsung since the original Galaxy S. Plastic and fake chrome 0-100-15 are nowhere to be found. Instead we've got glass and real metal. The back is a single 0-100-19 sheet of Gorilla Glass 4 with a matching curved front fascia, and while you do lose the waterproofing 0-100-24 from the S5, I'll take the nicer design any day. My review unit is gold, which is actually 0-100-28, pretty attractive. However, hands down my favorite color is emerald green, which sadly isn't 0-100-33 available in the United States. Side by side with the normal S6, the Edge has a much thinner 0-100-39 edge, which helps to give you a bit more grip on what is otherwise a pretty slippery phone. 0-100-43 The curved display also helps to make the phone feel a bit smaller, which is nice for 0-100-46 one-handed use. There have been curved phones before like the LG G Flex, but the Edge is 0-100-51 much more subtle. Swiping gestures just feel cool, and being able to scroll on the side 0-100-56 without covering the screen is a nice little feature. While the 1440p resolution might 1 o'clock be slight overkill, there's no doubt that the S6 has a crazy sharp screen, and with this 104 latest AMOLED display from Samsung, color accuracy is dead on. It even gets impressively bright 109, making it totally usable in sunlight, which isn't something I can say about most phones. 113 There's really no competition. The Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge have the best screens on any 118 phone period right now. Inside it's no slouch either. It's rocking an 8-core Exynos 123 processor, 3GB of RAM and storage options up to 128GB. You do lose the 128 microSD card slot, but at least Samsung has upped the base model to 32GB. Performance 133 is solid for the most part. Things like multitasking are no problem at all with Samsung's neat 137 multi-window feature. I did notice that the phone tends to run out of memory pretty quickly. 142 apps are forced to relaunch way too often for a phone with 3 gigs of RAM. However, 145 this should be fixed soon in a software update. Speaking of software, after years of shipping 149 builds of Android saddled with more and more TouchWiz, Samsung has finally taken the axe 154 to a lot of the duplicate apps and dubiously useful features. What crapware that is left 159 is easily disabled, giving the S6 a totally usable build of Android 5.0 Lollipop. Apps 204 like S-Health are downright useful, tracking things like steps along with taking advantage 208 of the heart rate sensor on the back of the phone. The fingerprint reader has also seen 212 a big upgrade. It's now a touch sensor on the home button like the iPhone, and it's 215 fast if a little inaccurate sometimes. Even small things like the keyboard are among the 220 best options I've tried on Android, and the quick settings are customizable and nicely 223 laid out. I'd still prefer something a bit closer to stock Android, but I've lived with 227 TouchWiz on the S6 with no real complaints. The good stuff keeps coming when we take a 231 look at the camera. It's a 16-megapixel sensor with optical stabilize RTO, and this 236 is about as good as it gets for a smartphone. Samsung added a new shortcut to open the camera 240 by double-tapping the home button, and it launches quickly no matter where you are. Snapping 244 pictures is well snappy, and the images themselves are impressive. There's tons of detail, and 250 the white balance is impressively accurate. The app is nicely laid out with options like 254 Pro mode, which gives you a little manual control with options like focus and exposure, but honestly 259 I just left it in auto mode for the most part. On the other hand, Pro mode can be really useful 303 for video. So I'm recording on the Galaxy S6 Edge right now, and using Pro mode I was 307 able to make a custom picture profile that with a little bit of color correction will 311 make the Galaxy S6 Edge look like a much more expensive camera. The only downside is that 315 this only works at 1080p. If you want to record 4 Kelvin video on the Galaxy S6 you're going to 319 have to do it in auto mode, but still, this is a really impressive video camera. Of course 324 no phone is perfect, and battery life is where the S6 stumbles a bit. It will get you through 328 a moderate day of use, but push it hard and it just can't keep up. Overnight it lost 333 25% of the battery with the phone asleep, which seems to show a serious lack of optimization. 338 the S6 does support wireless charging and quick charging, so it's easy enough to work with 342 if you can drop it on a charger here and there, but some people are definitely going to miss 345 the removable battery. Hopefully a software update can keep the battery from draining 349 so much in sleep, but right now this is the biggest issue with the Galaxy S6. Samsung 353 has delivered a pair of seriously impressive phones, but which one should you go for? There's 357 really no downside to the Edge besides the price, and the curved screen is worth it in 401 my opinion, but you're getting essentially the same experience no matter which way you 404 go. It's not perfect, but the Galaxy S6 Edge is hands down one of the best phones you can buy.